In this demo, I will show you 3 ways to polish a copper plate, but there are many ways to do this. The first is my favorite and only calls for barkeeper's friend, some water, newsprint, and paper towels. Set a clean piece of newsprint down with the plate on top. The plate should be slightly smaller than the paper. Sprinkle the barkeeper's friend onto the plate. Using a damp paper towel, make straight strokes that follow the grain of the metal. Go from a little past one edge to a little past the other, and don't start or stop in the middle of the plate. Use light to medium pressure and don't make curves or circles. Add more powder or water as needed to develop a consistency similar to toothpaste. Polishing a plate is entirely up to the printmaker. Many who use whiting during the degreasing process find it does an adequate job of polishing the copper and do not need additional polishing. Likewise, the amount of polishing you do depends on how much plate tone you want in the finished print. For a nearly tone-free plate, you will need a mirror reflective finish, which requires more time spent polishing. But to brighten up a dull or slightly marred plate, simply buff the surface until you reach the desired brightness. To check how your polishing is coming along, you can use some rubbing alcohol on a paper towel to wipe away the residue. The second method uses steel wool, 2000 grit sandpaper, newsprint, and paper towels. Lay a clean sheet of newsprint underneath your plate. Sprinkle a few drops of 3-in-1 oil around the plate. Use your hands to spread the oil around and coat the surface. Using steel wool, make straight strokes following the grain of the metal. Like before, each stroke should start and stop a little beyond the plate's edge. Try not to start or stop in the middle of the plate. Use light pressure and spend about 5 minutes doing this. When finished, use a clean, dry paper towel to lightly dust off any steel hairs on the surface of the plate. Be gentle. If you use pressure, you risk scratching the copper. Do not clean the plate. You will need the residue from the 3-in-1 oil for the next step. Lay down a fresh sheet of newsprint. Lay your palm flat on the 2000 grit sandpaper and make straight, even strokes, just as you did with the steel wool, making sure the strokes start and stop off the edge of the plate. Polish this way for about 2 to 3 minutes. When the plate is bright and clear, you can remove the 3-in-1 oil with a clean paper towel and rubbing alcohol. Lastly, I will show you how to polish a plate using Brasso. For this, you will need newsprint, Brasso, and some paper towels. Begin by placing a clean sheet of paper under your plate. The paper should be slightly larger than the plate. Shake the Brasso to homogenize it and then squirt a little onto the plate. Although this is one of the faster polishing methods, it produces a strong ammonia smell and should only be done outdoors or near an open window with good ventilation. Following the grain of the metal, buff the surface using medium pressure. This video has been sped up and chunks of time are cut out, so it does not give an accurate idea as to how long polishing takes, but I probably spent about roughly 10 minutes on each of these plates. Add more Brasso as needed. Only after you have thoroughly buffed off any residual Brasso can you wipe down the plate with rubbing alcohol.